What's up, YouTube? This is Red Devilosa from Red Devilosa Reviews. I know I promised the Bat Family Fancast to be the next set. I'm sorry, that's currently in the scripting process at the moment. There was a few more Batman villains that I believe can fit into this film universe, and the upcoming Gotham City Police Department, and the Penguin shows. And just recently, there's been reports on a series about Arkham set in this universe. I cannot confirm if it's true at this moment in time, but it does sound like there's a lot of faith for this franchise. If you haven't seen my fancast for the Batman Rogues Gallery Part 1, 2, and 3, or the fancast for the supporting characters from Gotham City, you can check those out by clicking the card in the corner, or in the links in the description down below. Same rules as before, I'm completely assuming that every character on this list has not been casted in the Batman or in its universe. Also, there's some fantastic fan art in this video, and I will be crediting the artists throughout the video and in the description down below.
Baffler? Puzzler? No, it's Riddler. I'm sure of it. That's what I'm telling you. There's lots of them. You ever heard of Clue Master? You're kidding, right? That one leaves clues at the scene of the crime, not riddles.
Arthur Brown was a failed game show host that turned to crime, donning the name as Clue Master. He's often considered as a knockoff Riddler, even to the other criminals in Gotham City. Where Riddler is known to leave clues in the form of riddles, Clue Master would leave legitimate clues due to how clever he thinks he is that no one would be able to know that he did them. Though this villain does not seem particularly useful to bring up, he's the father of Stephanie Brown, also known as the Spoiler, who would also become Robin and Batgirl. I'll talk more about her and her relationship with her father in the Bat Family Fancast video. Clue Master typically uses different gadgets. His most notable ones are the plexiglass pellets in the front of his suit, which contains blinding incendiary flames, smoke, incapacitating gas, and explosives. His most notable inclusion in media was the Batman animated TV show, where he was an obese genius that believed that he was cheated during a game show, and this caused him to go insane, which caused him to capture the show's producers, host, and the winning contestant, and does an impossible game show with them. Batman is able to stop him by asking him the one question that he doesn't know the answer to: the identity of the Batman. Jason Bateman would be my choice for Arthur Brown. He's able to create a stark contrast between comedy and seriousness with Arrested Development and Ozark, which is a good balance for someone like Clue Master. The name might also be familiar as he did the voice for Nick Wilde in Zootopia, which I have done a review for on my channel. Check the card in the corner. Dr. Francine Langstrom is the wife of Kirk Langstrom, also known as Man-Bat. After learning that Kirk mutated himself into Man-Bat, he wanted Francine to prove her love to him by taking the Man-Bat serum. She does, and she becomes She-Bat. Batman was able to help them get an antidote for their conditions. Due to traces of the Man-Bat serum still running through her blood, they can be triggered and cause harm to others, and she wouldn't be able to control it. Similar to her husband, the transformation allows her to have the abilities of a giant bat, as well as the vulnerability to high-pitched frequencies. For Kirk Langstrom, I had Adrian Brody as my choice. To play his wife, my choice is Diane Kruger, best known for her roles in National Treasure with Nicolas Cage and Sean Bean, as well as in Inglourious Basterds. She has the range, and I believe she'll pair nicely with Adrian.
A selection of body parts belonging to Warren White, aka the Great White Shark. White got himself sent to Arkham on an insanity plea. He lost a few things other than his mind while there. Made the new look work though, I gotta say.
Another one of the smaller villains that's pretty underrated, not to be confused with King Shark. Introduced in Arkham Asylum Living Hell, Warren White was a crooked financier that was known as the Great White Shark due to his ruthlessness. He would embezzle the company's pension funds and robbed most of the company's clients from their life savings. In order to avoid prison, he tried to plead for insanity, but the judge knew about White's paying off the jury, so he sentenced him to Arkham Asylum. Realizing that he can't bully his way through Arkham Asylum like he did in the past, even Joker telling him that White was one of the worst people he's ever met because even though Joker kills, he would never take the college funds from kids. Also, Killer Croc made slits in Warren's neck because new inmates were called fish, and he needed a set of gills for that title. His altered appearance occurred when he gets locked up in Mr. Freeze's Sub-Zero room. This is where Warren starts to go insane and loses his ears, lips, hair, nose, and many fingers. Once he was able to get out, he would sharpen his teeth to a point and go by the name Great White Shark. Due to his financial expertise, he was the go-to guy for special vehicles, weapons, and equipment for other inmates in Arkham. If the name sounds a bit familiar, he had some Easter eggs in the Arkham franchise. However, he never actually made a physical appearance at all. He's definitely an interesting character to have around, not as the main villain or anything, but more of a background type. Logan Marshall Green would be my choice for the character. He's been known as the Tom Hardy lookalike, but in all seriousness, he's one of those under-the-radar type actors. Damnation is a great look for him as a jaded character that doesn't seem like the person he is at the surface. Upgrade is a film that started to give him more attention, as it is the better Venom movie, which also came out in the same year as well. As you can tell, Great White Shark has an unusual appearance, but looking at the makeup done for Colin Farrell as the Penguin, I don't have to worry about that.
You want the Green Arrow? I can give him to you. I can give you his name. You will be the only person who knows. It's Oliver Queen. So we cool?
Yeah, we are.
There's been a lot of Batman villains so far, and some might consider one villain to be more known as the anti-Batman of the Rogues Gallery. No villain achieves this as much as Prometheus. It's unknown what his real name is. He was the son of two criminal parents who stole and murdered with no regard in a Bonnie and Clyde sort of manner. Eventually their luck would run out as their son watched the police gun down his parents right in front of him. This cause of events allowed him to dedicate his life to destroy the system of the law. Sound familiar? He was even rich due to the amount of money his parents had stolen over the years, and his use of those funds to travel around the world to train in combat, his intelligence, and also kill those that killed his parents. He later goes to the city of Shambhala and discovers an alien spaceship which contains what is known as the Ghost Zone, or also known as the Phantom Zone. He also used that as the base of operations, where he would create body armor, a helmet that would allow him to download information to his brain, along with projectiles and a nightstick, which is light in weight but can shatter iron. Also, the Ghost Zone would allow him to teleport. Prometheus is a ruthless villain, fighting many members of the Justice League multiple times, even slicing off the arm of Red Arrow. Similar to my thoughts on Phantasm, Prometheus being a reflection of Bruce Wayne makes him an interesting villain to explore. He's only been hinted at in the Arkham franchise through the Easter eggs. He was actually supposed to be an Arkham Knight Season of Infamy, but he was cut from the game. Arrow Season 5 had the character played by Josh Segarra, who was excellent in the role. Ed Skrein would be my choice for Prometheus. He has a bit of action experience as Dario Naharis in Game of Thrones, and Ajax in Deadpool, where he also played a villain role as well. He also is in the right age and height range as well.
Who dares disrupt this ritual?
Batman, is that you? Get me out of here!
This is sacred ground, heathen. You do not belong here. But God has sent you so that I may bathe in your blood too.
Introduced in Batman: The Cult, Deacon Blackfyre is a religious leader that believed to have been around for over a century. He was a Native American shaman that was entombed alive after killing the tribal chief. After this event, there were multiple accounts of people stating that they saw Blackfyre alive and well, although there seemed to be a curse when these sightings occurred, causing tragedy to his legend. He was discovered in the sewers of Gotham City after there's been a high level of murders and disappearance of the homeless population. They believed that Blackfyre was a messiah and were willing to kill for him. Deacon said he has a tie to God, and his mission is to rid the world of evil. Blackfyre was almost successful in breaking the Batman, putting him under a hallucination, even getting him to break his code. But with the help of Robin, and after Blackfyre sends his devotees out to cause havoc into the streets of Gotham, Batman was able to come to his senses and defeat Blackfyre. This showed his followers that Deacon was nothing more than a man, and they turned on him as a result. This name might sound familiar due to him being part of the side quest missions in Arkham Knight, Lamb to the Slaughter. This character is another one of those that will benefit to a darker rating, like Professor Pig. In terms of a cult-related project, there's some good examples of this subject being done, such as the original Wicker Man and the Joaquin Phoenix film The Master. An issue that could occur is the potential amount of preachiness and the case of the sensitive writing, but it's not impossible. It would make sense to cast an older person for the role. However, with the idea that Deacon is immortalized and is capable of fighting hand-to-hand and weapons, I would go with Adam Beach, an underrated actor that's known for works in smaller films, great works such as Smoke Signals, Flags of Our Fathers, and Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee, that would focus on the Native American culture. He had a very small role in Suicide Squad 2016 as Slipknot.
Here comes Slipknot, the man who can climb anything.
And by very small, I mean... yeah. Deacon Blackfyre would be a much better choice for his caliber. And that was part 4 of the Villains Fancast for Robert Pattinson's The Batman franchise. I wanted to include 4 more villains, but I was a bit pressed for time due to college, so there will be one more villain set before I get to the Bat Family Fancast. So just hang in there for those of you that are waiting. Also, let me know in the comments on what you think about these casts, anything that was spot on, anything that I'm completely off on. I'd like to know your personal fancast as well. If you like reviews and opinions on movies, comics, TV shows, and video games, you can support my channel, Red Devilos Reviews, for more of that content. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Peace.